Students, this is the second part of chapter 3, that is human reproduction. In this tutorial, we will study about female reproductive system. So let's begin. Female reproductive system comprises of three parts. First is primary sex organ, secondary sex organ, and external genitalia. Primary sex organ comprises of ovary. Secondary sex organ constitute of ducts and glands. These ducts and glands are very important in terms of ovulation as well as parturition along with the nourishment of the young one. Accessory ducts are oviducts, uterus, cervix, and vagina. Accessory glands constitute of pair of mammary glands. External genitalia is vulva. Now this is the diagrammatic view of female reproductive system. You can see the abdominal section constitute a pair of ovaries, and these ovaries are connected to the uterus with the help of a fallopian tube or oviduct. Fallopian tube comprises of three segments: infundibulum, ampulla, and isthmus. Isthmus is a junction between the oviduct and the uterus. The pear-shaped, inverted pear-shaped structure is the uterus, comprises of three walls: perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. The outer section of the uterus is referred as cervix, which leads into the cervical canal and finally opens into the vagina. And this cervical canal is also referred as birth canal. Now comes to the ovaries. Ovaries are the primary female sex organ that produce female gamete, that is ovum, along with some steroidal hormone. These steroidal hormones are referred as ovarian hormone. Ovaries are located one on each side of lower abdominal section and retain attached to the pelvic wall. This is very important. They remain attached to the pelvic wall and the uterus by the ovarian ligament. Now comes to the morphology of the ovaries. They are almond-like, flattened body measuring about 2 to 4 centimeters in length. The outer region of ovary composed of developing follicles, and middle region forms a stroma, which contains connective tissue along with the blood vessels and mature follicles. The stroma is again divided into the region, the peripheral cortex and the inner medullary region. Now comes to the oviduct. Oviducts are also referred as what? That is fallopian tubes. They are 10 to 12 centimeters in length, lying on either side of the uterus near that of the kidney. As we have discussed, comprises of three sections: infundibulum, ampulla, and isthmus. The opening of the fallopian tube is expanded into funnel-shaped structure, which is referred as infundibulum. The end of the infundibulum is having finger-like projection referred as fimbriae. They move closer to the ovaries at ovulation for the catchment of the ovum from the ovary. The infundibulum leads to the wider part of the oviduct, which is referred as ampulla. Isthmus, as I told you, it is a connecting link, is the last part of the oviduct having a narrow lumen which joins with the uterus. So it is a connecting link between the fallopian tube and the uterus. Now comes to the uterus. It is a single hollow muscular pear-shaped structure supported by the ligament and attachment of the pelvic wall. It is present between the urinary bladder and rectum. The lower part of the uterus is quite narrow. As you can say, it is more like an inverted pear structure and is called cervix. The cavity of the cervix is called cervical canal, which forms the birth canal along with that of the vagina. The wall of the uterus comprises of three layers: perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. Perimetrium is the outer one. It is thin membranous covering of the uterus. Myometrium is the muscular one. and comprises of smooth muscles fiber which rigorously contract and relax during the delivery. Endometrium is the inner wall that contains lots of glands and vessels. It undergo cyclical changes during menstrual cycle. Now, the accessory gland we have to study is the mammary gland. Mammary gland present in the pair in the thoracic region. They are outer structure, and you can see the outer surface of the mammary gland is covered with a fat like structure. There are 15 to 20 loops being present in single gland, and they terminate into the alveolus, then again into that of the mammary duct, and the swelling portion is referred as ampulla. Ultimately merge into the lactiferous ducts, and the outer part is a nipple, and the outer membrane is referred as areola. So, human female has a pair of mammary glands. That's why we are referred as mammals that contain glandular tissue and fatty tissues. Each glandular tissue is divided into 15 to 20 mammary loops, and each loop consists of group of cells referred as alveoli. Alveoli open into the mammary tubules, and mammary tubules of each loop open into the mammary duct. Several mammary ducts join together to form that of the ampulla that is connected to the lactiferous duct, from where the secretion of the milk after delivery will happen just before the nipple, through the which milk is going to be released. Now come to the pelvic section of the female body. This is the sectional view. Okay, so you can have a look over the uterus, which is looking more like a pear shape, and this is urinary bladder, and this is pubic symphysis. This is very very important. This is pubic symphysis, and you can see the urethra. This is the urethra section, and small structure is clitoris, and two lip-like folding are labia minora, which is inner one, and labia majora is the outer one, and the outer structure is the vaginal orifice. And the posterior section you can see the anus and rectum along with the cervix section. External genitalia, all in all, refer as vulva. It comprises of four sections: mons pubis, labia majora, clitoris, and hymen. Mons pubis is a cushion of fatty tissues covered with skin and having pubic hairs. Labia majora, labia means lip-like folding. Two fleshy folds of fatty tissues which extend down from the mons pubis and surround the vaginal opening. Just inside the labia majora are the labia minora, which enclose the vestibule containing the tiny opening of the urethra and ultimately terminate into the wider mouth-like opening that is referred as vagina. Clitoris. It is a tiny finger-like structure which lies at the upper junction of the labia minora above the urethral opening. Next is hymen. It is a thin mucous membrane that covers the vaginal opening either partially or entirely. The hymen often breaks during that of the intercourse or during the sports of horse riding, cycling, or sudden fault or any sort of jolt. Hence, presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity. That's all. Thank you.